Animal Crossing is a series that only gets better as the games go on. Aside from nostalgic reasons, it's typical for the community to mostly move on when a new game comes out. So is New Horizons any different? Does it ruin the Animal Crossing formula? Is there any reason to stay behind and play the Gamecube version? No, there's not. Since 2001, Animal Crossing has had a fairly similar release schedule, with a new game coming out roughly every 3 or 4 years. But after New Leaf on the 3DS, we had to wait the better part of a decade for a brand new home console Animal Crossing. Now that's not to say we had nothing to do before then. The 3DS got Happy Home Designer, an adorable little building package to mess around with, as well as a fairly sizable update to New Leaf that brought a lot of players back. Mobile devices got Pocket Camp, which I thought was fine. I'm not much of a mobile game person myself, but I can see the appeal for sure. And the Wii U got a big old can of beans. Just a real nice can of beans. So when 2019 came around and the Switch had been out for 2 years, everyone could smell the Animal Crossing waft just around the corner. And we were ready for anything, something to be revealed. And when the time came, it was awesome. A delay was a bit of a blow to the fan base, but knowing what it looks like and knowing it was on its way was still very exciting. Weirdly enough though, Animal Crossing couldn't have come at a better time. Unless you've been under a quarantined rock for 2 months, chances are you know what's going on in the world, and how insanely perfect of a release Animal Crossing New Horizons ended up being. Now I'm not saying that Reggie and Doug might have spent some long nights in the lab creating some kind of widespread pandemic to force people inside to play Animal Crossing, but I'm not saying that. Animal Crossing New Horizons was released to an immediate explosive craze. It feels like the entire world has been playing non-stop, and my playtime shows that. I'm just as garbage, if not more so, than everyone else. It's now been 3 weeks since the release of the game, so what's it been like? I mentioned earlier that there really isn't much reason to go back and play the other games, but that's not to say this game is perfect. Let me stress that I do love this game a lot. I wouldn't have put so many hours into it if I didn't, but I do have a few standout topics I would like to mention. New Horizons introduces a lot of new stuff, and I mean a lot. Customizing the entire outside of your town with paths, waterfalls, cliffs, parks, maybe the occasional phallus or two, and so much more. That being said, where's the island tour? I know you can buy a Nook Miles ticket and go visit deserted islands, but they're not the same. They're just some random islands in which most aren't different from your own. And more than that, where's the fun multiplayer minigames? I'm not saying New Leaf's minigames were perfect, but overall I thought they were pretty fun activities to do with friends, and I always had a decent time with them. And I swear, the sea bass get bigger and more common every day. You don't know how many times I'll try and look for an oarfish or something big and see a big shadow, and I'll think to myself, and that looks kind of big. Kind of a big fish. That looks kind of big. Maybe it's something. I don't know. It might be something cool. Maybe. And trust me, I know my eggs. I love eggs. Over medium, sunny side up, Cadbury cream. I can't get enough of them. Now, what I also know is how to spot a crook when I see one. And Zipper T Bunny, you are walking on eggshells, brother. I was excited about the Bunny Day event lasting 12 days instead of just one, but everywhere I turn, I see eggs. I go to bed, I see eggs. I wash my hands, I see eggs. I invite my friends over, I see eggs. Time travel is a heated debate in the Animal Crossing community. Personally, I haven't done it, but I don't see too much of a problem with it. I prefer just letting people play how they want to play. And honestly, sometimes I wish I would've. I liked building up my town and taking it day by day, but you run out of daily quest stuff to do pretty quickly, and it takes some time before you unlock the ability to add bridges and more customization options, and even more time to get the builder permits that I mentioned earlier. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. All things considered, the progression overall is pretty well paced. Every day, even if there wasn't a Tom Nook quest, I still always found stuff to do, whether that was decorating my bustling town or fishing up more sea bass. But I often wanted to move someone's location, upgrade my home, or build a bridge, but to do that meant having to wait an entire day, and paying it off is a whole separate issue. All bells on the table, I am incredibly privileged when it comes to money in Animal Crossing. Pretty sure I used cheats to hack in bells in the Gamecube game. I time traveled in Wild World to exploit the bank's interest function, and in New Leaf there was the beautiful, abundant Beetle Island. Granted, there was still effort involved with that, but it was pretty easy. In New Horizons, there isn't a get-rich-quick scheme that's consistent and easy to accomplish. Stumbling upon Tarantula Island or making your own does give you a lot of payout. But now that we're in April, their spawn rates get messed up by these stupid water bugs. You're dumb, kid. With this all being said, I don't want to get the wrong idea out there. New Horizons has its issues, and it could use its share of quality of life updates for general crafting, multiplayer, and other things. But still, it's easily the best Animal Crossing game. And I think the last game I spent this much time in the first 2 weeks was Breath of the Wild. Now that I'm done whining and complaining, I want to mention some of my favorite things about New Horizons. For starters, while I mentioned the multiplayer is lacking, I still think going to see your friend's town and fish together can be a blast. And now that you've got up to 8 people able to join your town, you can have all your friends coming out. Yep, everyone's here. Outside decoration is easily the best feature added. I've already touched on this, but I just want to emphasize how much fun it is to create practically whatever you want on your island. And people have made some incredibly unique things with their towns that I would never physically or mentally be able to handle. What the fuck? Crafting has its problems, but at its baseline I'm really glad it's here. I could do without the breaking of my tools every 2 seconds or running out of regular wood all the time, but it's always fun to find a new recipe and something new to fit your town. I really needed this one, thanks guys. And of course, the game is cute as shit, dude. We got to see what a taste of a home console Animal Crossing game would look like with Amiibo Festival, but they fleshed it out even more than I expected and made it look way cleaner. Every villager is so expressive and fun and unique. Well, mostly. I've got my issues with New Horizons, but it's just because I love it so much, and because I'm so excited for what it will be. We've already heard word of DLC coming out, so we know they've got stuff planned. And I would not be surprised to see a big multiplayer update come out or a big crafting update that revamps the system and adds way more things. I don't see myself going back to previous versions anytime soon. I give New Horizons an excited blathers out of 10, and I give Sea Basses a scared blathers out of 10. Thank you so much for watching my video, but if you'll excuse me, I've got quite a bit of debt to pay off. I hope to see you around again sometime.